Welcome to thedoor.com. The Door is a platform where you can buy and sell anything,
Purchase
anytime,
your tracks
anywhere.
today.
Making money easily.
It's swift, secure, and easy. Dad.org, transforming lives.
Yes, welcome to DTM TV Enyanya, and I'm your host Elijah Meru. I want us to discuss a little bit about the politics of the Democratic Republic of Congo. I know the Democratic Republic of Congo is a country where people speak French, and the majority of people speak other native languages like Swahili, Lingala, English, Swahili, Lingala, Chiluba, and Chikongo. But apart from those four main or five main languages, there are also still some tribal languages that are spoken over there. But we want to be having this program in English intentionally because of informing other people about what is happening in that country, a country of interest, a country not like any other country, a country which has suffered for a very long time, and a country which not many people talk about it. People don't talk about it enough. Country which has lost over 12 million people in a span of 20 years, from 1996, to 96 to 2021 now. How many years are those? 96, 2006, 2000, it's over 25 years, and we've lost around 12 million people in that country. And so there's so many things happening in that country. Whatever happens in that country affects the continent of Africa, affects the black people everywhere in the world. And so it's important for people to know. And also we know that we have also some Congolese people who are in the diaspora, some of them who fled the country because of the war. I think today Congo has more refugees in the world than any other country because of the instability, as I have just stated. That saw the light from 1996, when the Rwandese and the Ugandese and some Burundian people, together with some Congolese, went and had a coup d'etat, rebellion, where they chased away the then president, who apparently was called a dictator, has been in power for 32 years. And he was chased away, and then these people came, and Laurent Desire Kabila with a group of people, Rwandese, and that was a problem because when these people came, the Congolese people, because they were tired of Mobutu, who has been in power for 32 years, just making himself rich. Of course, he had some good side, because nobody is always bad. It's only bad. You have always the coin has always two sides, He had some positive side of him, but he did so many bad things for that country, to the point that people were very, very tired of him. And sometimes even when you've done so many good things, if you stay in power for a very long time and refuse to leave power, then power leaves you. And I think that's what happened to Mobutu. You remember what happened to Gaddafi, who was this exceptional leader, and who did things which, again, media did not talk about so much. And the media portrayed him as a dictator, as the worst human being, as somebody who has done this and that. But at the end of the day, today now, I think the Libyan know that that guy was not what they thought he was. And I think they regret for having killed him, because the country now is ungovernable now. And so it's important for us to have this program and this show that we'll be having. I can't say how many times, but we will try as much as we can to be talking and bringing information to you concerning the continent. But this week there are so many things that happened, or the few months here, you know, that we had the country had a new president, and that was in 2019 at the beginning. January, the election was done in December, but he was sworn in January 2019. And now it's 2 years down the line, but so many things, nothing has progressed. And according to his own word, the current president, whose name is Felix Antoine Tshisekedi Chilombo, or they take the name, they shorten it by saying Fachi, has been in power for those years, but he had also some problems because he was in partnership with the former president, who had an overwhelming majority in the parliament, overwhelming majority in the Senate. He was basically controlling all the institutions. And so the first fight that this new president had was to try and see how he could emancipate himself from the shadow of his predecessor. And so he did that, and now they have a new parliament which is more obedient to him, a new Senate more obedient to him, has just named a new prime minister who is his own choice, and we are waiting to see what happens. And I'm not talking about all this today, but I want just to ask myself questions about the vaccine that I see. That's the first question that I want to discuss about the vaccine. We've had so many people, so many countries being reluctant about the issue to do a vaccine, and for good reasons, because they are not sure. This is something that has been done very rapidly, and it hasn't been tested enough, and there are some negative effect. We had what happened in Norway here, where a number of people died, and so many countries backed off. This is the first problem. The second problem is that Congo, as I said earlier, has suffered so many other disease. Congo, we have had Ebola. Congo, we have had cholera. Congo, we have malaria. Congo, we have even HIV. And to make matter worse, every single day there are dozens or hundreds of people who die in eastern part of Congo. They die every day because of insecurity. And so I don't know how comes that this thing is becoming more of a priority instead of the problem that the people of Congo are facing. The second problem, why is it that it's important? You remember, some of you who watch the news from that part of the world, that it's only 1 week ago that in the province, I think of South Kivu, in Bukavu to be precise, and I think also in Katanga, in one place in Katanga, children ran away during the day because they have been told that they shall be vaccinated by force, you know. And so these kids had to run away, and the parents went running to school and picked their kids because they didn't want this. And many people have this negative information or misinformation, I don't know, about the vaccine, because no one, as I said earlier, is sure what is in this, you know. And the government had to make a statement and say that it was not true, there was no such kind of plan. But amazingly, 1 week later, we can see the government now declaring in a broad light day that now they are receiving their first vaccine in the country. And they're saying that by so doing, what they're saying is that they want to start by vaccinating the medical practitioners or the health workers. And again, that's all question I'm asking, because it's not like Congo is among the country which was so much affected. As I said earlier, there are so many other problems facing the country than this. I'm not saying this is not one of them, but I think it's too early for the country to run and jump on this, because first and foremost, I don't think we don't have scientists who are able to attest and confirm that this thing that they want to give our people is not dangerous. I don't know where it is from, but we have read the news about some other companies which are bullying governments, and giving them unacceptable conditions for them to be given this medicine. I'm just calling it medicine to avoid this video being censored. Here in some countries, like in Brasilia, there's a video which we must have heard. But also there's information everywhere there about the condition that this company gave to countries like Brazil, countries like Argentina, to the point that they wanted the government to give them their central bank as collateral, to give them their military as collateral, and refusing completely to take any responsibility in case something goes wrong, even if it means their negligence on their part. But they still refused everything. Now, Congo has a president who is very quick at signing. He signs everything, everywhere. And unfortunately, he doesn't respect his own signature. The first time they went here in Switzerland, in Geneva, and signed the document, several of them, I think. And before 24 hours, he said he has withdrawn his signature. And that was it. He went to Nairobi, signed another signature with one of the other guy with whom they were in Geneva. And everything shows that he has not respected that either. He went in Congo, signed another agreement with his predecessor. 2 years down the line, he has put it into the dustbin. And for Congolese, they don't give a damn, because I think also they were maltreated by the previous government, that they don't, even if he does anything, provide that he emancipates himself and the people of Congo from these people, they are free, they are okay, they are good with that. But the problem then is, will he do the same with other stakeholders? Because you can do that with any other person you want, but with people like these companies we're talking about here, providing him with this vaccine and so on, I don't think that he will just go and sign his signature and then say after 2 days that he has withdrawn it or ignore it. Because every time he signs, he does not sign just as a citizen. He signs on behalf of a whole country, on behalf of the whole nation, on behalf of 100 million people of Congo. And so this amazes me, this amazes me. It amazes me to the point that I really don't understand what is going on. I really don't understand this. I remember the president of Rwanda was complaining the other day that they have had difficulty of having this they have had difficulty of being served with this medicine. Let me just call it like that. And so I know that he's a good negotiator. The president of Rwanda, like him or hate him, he's a good negotiator. When other presidents of Africa were running to sign contracts with to be part of the International Criminal Court, he didn't sign. He's among the few countries in the world who never signed this this International Criminal Court convention. But our president, I don't know what he signed. I don't know what he offered. And we can only see people coming and saying we vaccinate people. The first danger is we don't know what is in this vaccine. We don't know how dangerous it is for our people. We've had so many information about this vaccine and so many videos. So any intelligent human being would be a little bit skeptic before accepting this. That's one thing. The second thing is, what did he give? What did he sign? What is he giving in exchange to these companies? I don't know which company it is, to give the country those medicine. And thirdly, was it really a priority in Congo now, when people are dying of hunger, when children are not going to school, when everything is not going right? Was it a priority? Even if he needs it, why couldn't he wait? Why nothing has been done about cholera? Why nothing has been done about malaria? Why nothing has been done about the war, the killings, the death? And this even leads us to the second point that we want to discuss here about the insecurity in the country. He went here he was in England, I think, where he made that declaration that some people are also Congolese. And he was not wrong, because to some extent the constitution of the country says so. But he didn't say that because the constitution says so, but I think because he was just feeling good to say so. And now we have these officers, military officers, who are leaving the national army just because they are being called to go and serve in other places in the country. They are leaving and going back to a particular place called Mulenge, because that's where they think they're secure. And somebody is saying that these people are planning because they are seeing like everything that is going, and that's the problem and strategy of Congo, that every time you have a government, people, if they want to be part of that government, they must do everything that they can to make sure that they are part of that government. And to do so, they must take arms and go and fight the same government. And that's how we had even this heterogeneous, if I want to call it like that, this mixing of everything government, where different people from different rebellion movements are part of the national army. And then you want to claim that you can make peace in the country like that? And he has not cleaned all this mess. here he is bringing in so many other stuff. And this is a question that any intelligent human being will ask himself. The third thing I want to ask myself, even as we're talking about security, these people are moving and they're going to Minembwe, is the presence of MONUSCO. We have been made to believe that there can't be peace in Congo without MONUSCO. But this same MONUSCO has been in Congo for over 20 years and there have never been peace. People are being killed every single day in the presence of this same MONUSCO. Now the question is, why do you repeat the same thing if it's not giving any result? These people have been there for 20 years. They haven't been able to bring peace in that country. People are dying at few meters indeed, of the place where there is killings. You go there, you find the military of MONUSCO. And there have been even reports that shows that these MONUSCO guys are not even in the country to make peace. They are there to maintain. They are the people who are maintaining these rebellions and the killings of the citizens of Congo because they have other agendas. This week, I think, one of their car had an accident. You know what was in that car? Minerals. And the president, for his own wisdom, he thinks that it's okay for these people to be there. Now they have left all these things roaming around. They are planning not to conduct an election in 2023 as the constitution of the country says. And everybody was mad at the former president, his predecessor, because also when time for election came, he said the country did not have money. And yet he was the president for that country for 18 years. And when elections comes, he says there's no money. And he knew there would be election in 5 years. It was his responsibility and duty to conduct that election. And people died to see those elections conducted. It was supposed to be conducted in 2016, ended up to be conducted in 2018. And now this new president is bringing us the same narrative. His people are saying in 2023 there shouldn't be election. In fact, there is a bishop, quote unquote, who happens to be from his own backyard, his own tribal cocoon, who is saying that there won't be any election and whoever thinks is strong will conduct those elections. But they are not conducting the election. They will first have to do the census and count how many people are in the country, how many cities in the country has got, which is a little bit logical, but I don't see how that correlates with the election. They could have done that before. He said that during his inauguration time, his inauguration speech, that he is making that a priority. He wants to make sure that the country has an ID card, because it's the only country in the world where even citizen has got no identification card. And you wonder, how do you even know who is foreigner, who is a citizen? And there are some people there who have made it their own business to say who is Congolese and who is not. Any person who they are afraid of, any person who is intelligent, any person who does not look like them, any person who doesn't speak their language, their tribal language, is not a Congolese. So this is a challenge that now they are even arguing, they are even contemplating the idea of not conducting the election in 2023 as it's supposed to be. Of course I know, and they had an issue with the Catholic Church bishops who states categorically that he is not allowed. It's not like even he is allowed, because the constitution of the land does not allow him to do so. All these are things that we ask ourselves, do Africa not Africa, Congo to be precise, have politicians. I was one of the people who really had faith in this guy. Not only because he was in his middle age, he was in his 50s, but more importantly because he was the son of the well-known, very popular opposition leader. And not only that, he has spent over 30 years in the West here. He has seen how countries are run. He has seen the facilities that are given to people, the infrastructure. He has seen how people live the other side of the world. And he knows exactly how the country is. So he had so much faith in him that by him going there, even if he might have gone to school or not, he still has the opportunity at least to change the narratives in the country. But from all the indication, the guy is doing not this what he promised the people. He's just doing what other human being chose to do. And this is not acceptable. It is not acceptable. And so the Democratic Republic of Congo, I think, is one of the countries which are not lucky. As we continue, pointing fingers to other people for not giving the Congolese an opportunity to develop their own country, I think the biggest challenge and problem is within the country. The politicians in that country. Just wanted to give you that breakdown, those information, and we will discuss more about this. Now they're waiting to form a new government with this new prime minister. But the level of corruption, and even I was arguing about the budget, because his first budget, the first year, he projected a budget which was over $10 billion. And he was told that they can't raise that money, blah, 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 blah. And I think they believe it happened so. Now they've reduced the budget to be 4 to 5 billion in a country of over 100 million people. And with 80% of that budget going straight to pay only the salaries of civil servants, mainly politicians. In a country where the population is over 100 million, the budget of the country is about 4 billion. The president has a salary of $2 million US. Per month, not per year. Every month, he takes home 2 million USD. 2 million, for heaven's sake. The former president, his predecessor, goes home with the third of that money, around 600,000 USD. They have a parliament with around 500 members, and these also people take also a chunk of billions of money every month, and the rest of the employee live with under $2 a day. It's a shame, it's a pity, but I hope that there will be people who will stand up and chase all these human beings away from this country, because enough is enough and this should not continue. God bless you. I'll talk to you later. See you.
Welcome to thedoor.com. The Door is a platform where you can buy and sell anything,
Purchase your
anytime,
tracks
anywhere.
today.
Making money easy way.
It's swift, secure, and easy. Dad.org, transforming lives.